If we was to fight right now on the streets, I'll break neck. And that's on my kids. And you know it, I know it, and the whole world know it. And
when that happens, or is it like...
I just really don't like that dude.
Why though?
Cause I just don't like him. Like, I really don't like him. That's like,
just not your cup of tea. That's just not your...
I don't like none of them.
Terence Crawford and Gervonta Davis have been going back and forth for some time, but no one expected just how intense things would get when they finally came face to face.
Question for you, Tank. At 147, how does a fight with you and Terence Crawford look?
147?
147.
I tapped that trend. You know he going to sleep.
I already know. I already know
he ain't got no chance.
I already know he...
Fight week is just around the corner for Gervonta Davis as he wraps up training camp and gets ready for his 31st fight, aiming for his 29th knockout. Before the showdown, he and his opponent, Roach, took part in a private press meeting, a roundtable interview in Brooklyn, close to the fight venue. At the same time, Terence Crawford has been in New York since Keyshawn Davis's fight against Dennis Baroni.
Whoever, I told Tank know what's up. You know what I mean? He know what he up against when he fights Shakur or Keyshawn. You know what I mean? He want to fight
The fight happened on Valentine's Day at Madison Square Garden, with Terence Crawford in attendance alongside Claressa Shields and other top boxers. Since then, Crawford has remained in New York, preparing to travel to Saudi Arabia next to watch Shakur Stevenson take on Floyd Schofield. But in an unexpected twist, Crawford made a surprise appearance at Gervonta Davis and Roach's press meeting. Tensions escalated fast when Davis called him out over recent remarks, sparking a heated altercation.
He would never even think about to come up to 154.
All right, what about 47 though?
Yes, if he get to pick his opponent. But Tank would never come from 35 to 54.
Crawford didn't back down, admitting to his comments and even daring Gervonta Davis to do something about it. But before Davis could respond, Crawford struck first, shoving him before others quickly stepped in to break it up. So what led to this intense clash? And what exactly did Crawford say to ignite this feud? The 37-year-old from Omaha, Nebraska, has built a legacy most fighters can only dream of since turning pro in March 2008. He's captured world titles in 4 weight divisions and became the undisputed champion at both super lightweight and welterweight. Now, as he gears up for a massive showdown later this year against Mexican superstar Canelo Alvarez, Crawford has set his sights on a reigning world champion, accusing him of being arrogant.
I just felt like, he just one of these little arrogant little dudes that's using what he got to shield him. He got a lot of security guards.
During an appearance on the Cigar Talk podcast, Terence Crawford didn't hold back when talking about WBA lightweight champion Gervonta Davis, making it clear he's not a fan of the 30-year-old from Baltimore. "I just don't like that dude. There's nothing about him I like," Crawford said. "He's one of those arrogant guys who hides behind what he has. He's always got security around him, you know what I mean? He enjoys the spotlight, but in certain situations, he wouldn't act that way." When asked if he at least respects Davis as a fighter, Crawford acknowledged his abilities. Yeah, he's a damn good fighter. I respect his skills. He's got power and solid boxing ability. But when it comes to his personality and how he carries himself, nah.
About no fighting in the ring. If me and you was to fight outside, I will break your neck.
A fight between the two American stars seems unlikely anytime soon due to the major weight difference. Crawford last fought at 154 pounds in August, and his upcoming bout against Canelo Alvarez will be at 168 pounds. On the other hand, Davis has never competed above super lightweight, with most of his success coming at lightweight. Despite the size gap, Davis has been dominant, remaining undefeated with a perfect 30-0 record. He currently holds the WBA lightweight title in a highly competitive division, where fans are eager to see him in unification matchups.
He's in the limelight and stuff like that, but in certain situations, he wouldn't be acting like that.
Do you like him as a fighter, though?
Yeah, he's a damn good fighter.
Yeah.
But, his core personality and his ways.
Vasily Lomachenko holds the IBF title. Shakur Stevenson is the WBC champion, and Keyshawn Davis recently captured the WBO belt with a crushing body shot knockout over Dennis Baroni on Valentine's Day. Crawford was there to witness his training partner's victory and later told Fight Hype that he doesn't believe Gervonta Davis would stand a chance against Keyshawn or Shakur. Tank knows what he's up against, Crawford said. If he steps in the ring with Shakur or Keyshawn, he knows it won't be an easy fight. Instead, he picks opponents that people already expect him to beat. They might have some skills, but mentally, they can't keep up for a full fight. But Shakur and Keyshawn, those two will be the ones to hand him his first loss.
Y'all got into it on social media around that time. Is that just you being competitive, like when that happens, or is it like...
Both Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis share the same mindset when it comes to a potential fight with Gervonta Davis. In recent interviews with TalkSport.com, they expressed confidence in their ability to defeat him. Keyshawn, in particular, didn't hold back, comparing a possible matchup with Gervonta to Terence Crawford's dominant performance against Errol Spence Jr. in July 2023, when he claimed the undisputed welterweight title. I see myself giving Gervonta the same kind of beating that Terence gave Spence, Keyshawn told TalkSport.com. His style is perfect for me. I'm young, and I don't think the fight will go the full 12 rounds. But if it does, I can handle it. I'm smarter than him in and out of the ring, just smarter than him, period. The only thing people ever talk about is that one punch.
That everybody in the world know they ain't gonna give them no fight. They not mentally there, you know what I mean? They might have a little skills here and there, but mentally wise, they not gonna be.
I've got power, and I've knocked fighters out with one punch, but he's done it repeatedly, Keyshawn admitted. We all know he has that one-punch knockout ability, but people don't really know what I'm capable of yet. I've only had 12 fights, and I've only faced truly elite competition in 3 of them. My upcoming fight against Baranchik will be my 4th at that level, so there's still a lot people haven't seen from me. I'm already better than what I've shown. Meanwhile, Shakur Stevenson has been calling for a fight with Gervonta Davis for years without success and still doesn't understand why it hasn't happened. However, he believes only one person can make it a reality. He's the superstar, the biggest name, the biggest pay-per-view attraction in boxing, Stevenson told TalkSport.com. Since he's the biggest name, it's up to him to make it happen.
Keep it up, that whole fight. And them 2 guys right there, you know what I mean, is going to be the ones that, you know, give him his first L.
The ball is in his court, Stevenson added. I can't send him an offer. Turkey Alashik can. He's got the money. I don't have the kind of money to offer Gervonta Davis something big enough. I don't know why this fight hasn't happened yet. He's a weird guy, and to be honest, I don't have much respect for him. Gervonta Davis is set to return to the ring on March 1st in Brooklyn, where he'll take on WBA super featherweight champion Lamont Roach. If he gets through the fight without any issues, he's expected to face one of the 3 other champions next.
Said no chance.
I got round 5.
Shit, I got round 6.
Gervonta Davis speaking about you. Is that ever a possible fight?
Yeah.
At this point, Vasily Lomachenko appears to be the leading candidate for Gervonta Davis's next opponent. Davis's team had previously approached the Ukrainian star for a fight last year, but Lomachenko opted to take a break from the sport instead. The recent conflict between Davis and Terence Crawford can be traced back to the Ring Magazine Awards in London this past January. Davis was notably absent from the event, which only added to the growing tensions between the two. Boxing's top names came together in London for the Ring Magazine Awards, but a few big names were absent, most notably Gervonta Davis. Despite announcing plans to retire in 2025, he remains undefeated with a 30-0 record and 28 knockouts, solidifying his status among the sport's elite. However, it seems he wasn't invited to the event, possibly due to his strained relationship with Riyadh Season and Turkey Alashik, the owner of Ring Magazine. Davis wasn't pleased about being left out and believed he was deliberately excluded. Davis voiced his frustration on social media, sharing several posts on his X account before later deleting them. However, Terence Crawford saw an opportunity to take a shot at him, igniting an online back-and-forth that lasted until Tuesday. Davis's deleted messages criticized both the event organizers and attendees, making his disappointment clear. While the exact reason for his exclusion from the Ring Magazine Awards remains uncertain, his tense relationship with the Riyadh Season team may have been a factor. Crawford, on the other hand, wasted no time firing back, further fueling the tension between them. The rivalry between these two champions has been simmering for some time, with both exchanging verbal jabs in the past. Recent reports indicate that Terence Crawford, after a meeting with Turki Alshik, is closing in on a mega fight with Canelo Alvarez later this year. Seizing the moment to take a swipe at Gervonta Davis, Crawford mockingly posted, "I see somebody mad they weren't invited to the Ring magazine gala. I remember being left out. That's why when they let me in, I crashed the party," followed by laughing emojis. This was a direct response to Davis's deleted posts, though some fans had already saved and reshared them. To understand why Crawford decided to taunt Davis, we need to look back at what Tank originally posted. Although the posts were deleted, some publications managed to capture them before they disappeared. Davis questioned why they didn't invite everybody, before adding, "But they invited people they deal with. Get out of here. Stop bum eating." He then seemed to take a shot at Eddie Hearn, writing, "Look at that little rat thinking he came up on something. Now tell them all to fight each other since they have a heavy roster." Davis didn't stop there. He also had words for Turki Alshik, first suggesting that all the invited guests should fight among themselves before criticizing the Saudi chairman, claiming he doesn't know anything about boxing. Davis appeared to aim his frustration at Riyadh Season's head, writing, "They want to act like this guy is good for boxing when he is not good at stuff. If so, why is he not building the people where he is from? This guy knows nothing about boxing at all, and this is who they're turning to." He doubled down on his criticism, stating, "They want to act like this guy is good for boxing when he's not good at anything. If so, why isn't he training people from where he's from? This guy doesn't know anything about boxing, and that's who they're turning to." Like his previous posts, these messages were also deleted from his X account. Davis then went on a rant about how, unlike him, many fighters are willing to leave American shores just to chase a payday, but in the end, they only managed to draw a barely countable crowd to their fights. The dispute between Davis and Crawford escalated further, seemingly because Davis boasted about having more money than Crawford. Davis didn't take too kindly to Crawford's response and, in more since-deleted posts, called out Bud over his earnings. Davis fired back, saying, "I still make more than you. Y'all think he's chasing greatness. He's not. That's what he has to do to make decent money." Crawford didn't hold back in his response, stating, "The first thing a rich fool tells another rich fool is that he has more money than you. I bet I have more investments than you, and I don't owe $1 in taxes. You can't buy anything that I can't buy and want, sir, and that's a fact. Let's see who has the longest-lasting money, smart boy." Davis, unwilling to let it go, fired back with more insults before dismissing Crawford's complaints. This heated exchange is especially intriguing given that last year, during the press conference for his fight against Lamont Roach, Davis stunned fans by revealing his plan to retire from boxing by the end of 2025. If that's the case, many fans might wonder why Davis is so concerned about not receiving an invitation. However, this isn't the first time Terence Crawford has taken a jab at the Baltimore native. Shortly after Crawford's dominant victory over Errol Spence Jr. to become the undisputed welterweight champion, he caught wind of Davis claiming he could defeat him at 147 pounds. Speaking on the Breakfast Club, Crawford remained unfazed by Davis's claims, acknowledging his talent but stressing that there are levels to the sport. He dismissed the idea, stating, "If he comes up to 147 thinking he's just going to knock Terence Crawford out, he's got another thing coming." While a showdown between the two American boxing stars seems unlikely, Crawford has his sights set on a much bigger challenge, the highly anticipated clash with Canelo Alvarez.
Gave a little prediction on the fight, talked about Errol has a metal shield and you have a glass shield, talk about the punch resistance. What do you think of Tank's assessment, man?
Terence Crawford and Gervonta Davis may currently be 3 weight classes apart, but their paths have crossed in the past. Crawford started his career at lightweight, where Davis now holds a world title, before moving up and becoming undisputed at super lightweight, a division Davis has also conquered. Crawford has since dominated the welterweight division and recently made his debut at 154 pounds. Meanwhile, Davis continues to dominate at 135 pounds, holding the WBA world title and knocking out every challenger. While Davis has previously boasted about knocking Crawford out, perhaps jokingly, the bigger man has cautioned him against stepping too far out of his weight class.
I mean, you came up from 35, right?
He ain't fighting no real guys at 47.
So, okay. What about, everyone's talking about Errol fighting.
Although a fight between Terence Crawford and Gervonta Davis seems highly unlikely, some believe it wouldn't be completely one-sided. Speaking with Real Life Productions, multi-division world champion Roy Jones Jr. weighed in on the hypothetical matchup, calling it a good damn fight. Jones, who sees it as a competitive clash, believes Davis would have a real shot if the bout took place just below the welterweight limit. I don't see anybody around beating Bud unless they're way bigger than him. But don't sleep on the fact that if he and Tank fought at about 145, that's a good damn fight. You understand me?
Crawford, on the other hand, I don't see nobody around that's gonna be like beat Bud unless it's somebody way bigger than him. But don't sleep on the fact that
Jones emphasized that both Crawford and Davis possess exceptional boxing IQs. But what sets Tank apart is his explosiveness. That's the one thing Tank has that Errol Spence didn't. In boxing, an explosive fighter can go a long way. I was able to move through multiple weight classes because I was so explosive. That kind of power keeps opponents in check. Despite the debate over a potential matchup, both fighters remain focused on their respective careers. Crawford is chasing a super fight against super middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez, which would require a 14-pound jump, while Davis is gearing up for his March 1st showdown against Lamont Roach Jr. at the Barclays Center. According to his latest press conference, Tank still plans to retire by the end of 2025, making his next fights must-watch events for fans.
if him and Tank fought at about 145, that's a good daggone fight. You understand me? Matter of fact, I'm gonna say that's a good damn fight. You understand me? Because they both have very high IQs, and Tank is very explosive. See, that's the one thing Tank got.
Gervonta Davis has now entered the discussion, seemingly unimpressed by the reported Crawford versus Canelo super fight. While both fighters have reportedly agreed to terms for their highly anticipated showdown, Davis appears to be downplaying the significance of the matchup. The fight is said to have come together after separate meetings with Saudi boxing chief Turki Al-Sheikh in London over the weekend. After more than a year of speculation, it looks set for 2025, pitting two of the sport's top pound-for-pound fighters against each other. While most of the boxing world is excited about this historic clash, Tank Davis doesn't seem too impressed.
If I'm easy work, I heard him say I'm easy work. If I was easy work, you would take all that money that he's offering you.
Calvin Ford, Gervonta Davis's longtime trainer, has now shared his thoughts on the highly anticipated Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford showdown. In an interview with Fight Hype, Ford appeared to lean toward Canelo, pointing to the significant weight jump Crawford would have to make. The debate over the potential winner continues to divide fans and analysts, as both fighters are regarded as pound-for-pound greats. The bout would be one of boxing's biggest, but for Crawford, it means moving up 14 pounds to challenge the reigning super middleweight champion. While Davis himself doesn't seem impressed by the fight, his coach has suggested that Canelo might have the upper hand due to his experience, power, and natural size advantage.
Terence Crawford, Canelo situation, do you think that's a fight where they could get to a weight that makes sense? Do you think that the weight would affect Terence Crawford?
Canelo's the king. Whatever he say.
Calvin Ford acknowledged that Canelo versus Crawford is a great fight and expressed his curiosity about how it will unfold. He noted that Canelo has been making smart career moves and carefully strategizing for his fights. Ford also analyzed Crawford's recent performance at 154 pounds against Israel Madrimov, where Crawford secured the win but didn't score a stoppage. He pointed out that since it was Crawford's first fight at that weight, it's still too early to determine whether his power carried up. It's like when Benavidez moved up. It's all about making adjustments, Ford said. He believes Crawford should take another fight at 154 pounds to prove he belongs in the division. If it's not there, then we can start questioning.
It's a good fight. I like to see that fight, the outcome of it, you know what I'm saying? And then watching Canelo been making some good moves, as far as fights and whatnot,
That's a wrap for now. Stay tuned for more boxing news, highlights, and exclusive updates. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a moment of the action. We'll be back with more exciting content soon. Until then, take care and keep watching.